He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
Shivam Shivakaram Shantam Shivatmanam Shivottamam Shivamarga Pranitartham Pranamami Sadashivam Pranamami Sadashivam Pranamami Sadashivam Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Mahadevaya Namaha Tasmai Shri Sadashivaya Namaha Om Shanti 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 Aham Brahmasmi. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the people from the other part. So here we are at the most lovable time of this year, where we connect back and prepare ourselves for that night, the night of the great awakening, the night of great emergence, the night of where your soul can reach to its peak. And here we are getting initiated on that process again, the process that is going to last Rather, the preparation is going to last for 21 days, but its effect would last till eternity. So, this time again on this Mahashivratri, we are going to take a three step actually. The first one would be invocation, the second one would be possession, and the third one would be dissolution. So it is again nothing else but creation, maintenance, and dissolution. And this is going to be in 4 phases. The first phase will start from tomorrow, that is Monday, till next Sunday. The next step will be from Monday till next Sunday. Then the third one will from Monday to Sunday, and the fourth means it would be like the third one would be Monday through Saturday, because Sunday is going to be the Mahashivratri. So that is how we are going to complete our 7 days cycle of 3 rounds of sadhana to reach the 21st day of Mahashivratri. So in this we are going to take 4 steps. One, that you will start from tomorrow and you will be initiated now, is about the Shuddhikaran and the Deha Bhedana, breaking of this myself called as this body. So that is going to be the first one to break it, Deha Bhedana. Then the second one would be the Raudra Shiva and the Kshetrapala Sthapana. That's going to be your second phase of sadhana. Then the third is going to be Laya, Shakti Nirodha, and Antara Shiva. And the fourth, by completing all these 3 things for 20 days, on the 21st day of Mahashivratri, we will do the Mahapravesha, or the entry into the divine, so that all this sadhana that you are doing will finally dissolute itself, and it just goes and merges back into its source. And many a times, as we have already noticed in our lives, people keep on asking, what is this Shivratri all about? Why people go crazy on this day? And they keep on asking, like, why do you speak like mad about Shiva? And then for these people, might be they are yet to experience what Shiva is all about. And today we are going to start that process about speaking about our own madness. And thereafter, we will not only talk about but tell you what madness looks like. And what true madness is all about. So now people might think, so we are here to learn how to be mad. What is madness? Then I would like to say, like, true love is like madness. And when people ask, I have been asked so many times, like, the way you speak about, when you speak about Shiva, when you speak about Kali, what happens to you exactly? And people come and tell me, like, this is not happening, that is not happening. Then, despite all this Why you cannot love Shiva? And even people also say, despite all the things happening in my own life, why I can't stop loving Shiva? Nothing is happening right in life, but I cannot leave him. Why is that? So let's understand from that aspect. Then we will go to an aspect of Shiva's reality. And might be thereafter I will teach you few processes that you will be doing over the next 7 days. And thereafter a new process will be added to that process. Then another process will be added. But before even I start, are you ready for this? That yes should come from within. Because that yes cannot come without its wish. So when I say like, or why can't I love, why I cannot stop loving Shiva? And if you have ever had that question, then let me give you a simple answer to that. There are stages how you go closer to Shiva. At first, we all know, like, since childhood, we come to know something. Everybody speaks of like God, you should love Him, He's all compassionate, He's all caring. But when life comes to reality of daily living, I don't think so, because nothing is happening. And then I question, where is it? And in that moment also, I still cannot leave it. Why is it so? Then the answer is very simple. You cannot stop loving Mahadev. Because what you call as love is no longer an emotion. It has actually crossed that state. At first, you might have heard from somebody, you might have started looking at his things, you might have started reading about him. And then you would have recognized at first love for God feels like bhakti. Something that you do, जो आप करते हो, उसको देखने के बाद, that might be the one. But later, the bhakti becomes anubhuti. Something that you don't just do, but you feel it. Then that anubhuti changes into smriti. It's a deeper state where something you remember and there is no effort left to even remembering. Then that smriti also goes beyond, and then it becomes your swabhava, your true nature, your very nature. And in this moment, once you reach that space of swabhava, you are not loving Mahadev anymore. Then what are you doing? If I say in that moment you are not loving Mahadev anymore, then what is that you are doing? It is as simple as you are remembering yourself through Mahadev. And that's why it cannot stop. You are trying to see your own self through Him. It is not trying to showcase itself to you anymore. But it is you who is trying to see yourself through Him now. You know, when love is based out of desire, it will fluctuate. I got it, I did not got it, it keeps on fluctuating. If that love is based on desire. When love is out of fear, it will exhaust you. When love is based on need, it ends when the need is met. But when love arises from recognition of the truth, it is irreversible. And in that space, you will realize that you are not attached to Mahadev like a person is attached to another person. It's like your being has found, has recognized its own source. That recognition does not come with fireworks or drama. उसमें कोई ड्रामा नहीं है, उसमें कोई क्रैकर्स नहीं है, वहाँ पे कोई बैंड बाजे नहीं है. And once you reach that space, it comes with a quiet, silent, but once it comes, it will stay. It's like gravity. Gravity does not make noise, it is. Similarly, once you reach to that space when you feel that pull of Shiva towards you or you towards Shiva, that's like gravity. No sound, no noise, yet attracts. But there is a slit test, what you call it as a quick test that you can do. For all those who want to do this sadhana, ask yourself honestly, and that would make sure whether you want to do this sadhana or not. Do you try to love Shiva? Is there any trying? If there is trying, then this sadhana is not for you. But if your answer is no, I'm not trying anymore, then it simply is. This process is for you. And that is because the you who could stop actually loving has already become thin. जो आपको उससे मिलने से रोक सकता था, that has gone. It has become transparent, almost absent. And whatever is remaining within you right now, it's naturally leans towards its origin. We always say, just as a river leans towards the ocean without effort. This is why the love that you have towards Shiva does not feel obsessive, it feels inevitable. And there is a truth behind this madness. Because when you look at his Swarupa, the way he is the only form of the divine who does not demand any love. He does not reward out of what you are going to give him. He does not even frighten that if you don't love me, I will do this and that. But rather, he simply stands as truth. And for me, the one that is true is always attracted towards the truth. Not because it wants to, but because falsehood cannot remain comfortable in the presence of truth. And there we realize that our love is no more an emotional dependency. It is actually alignment with that source. That's why when you say you love Shiva, because You will realize something in that space. It will never weaken your intelligence. It will not create blindness. Instead, it will make you simpler, make you quieter, makes you more honest, makes you less interested in proving anything. And this is no more infatuation. This is in truth homecoming. You going back to your home. So when people ask you, why can't you stop loving Mahadev? Ask them instead, who is left that could stop loving him? And you will see, if you look within, there is no one left within you who wants to. Because what remains is Shiva, remembering Shiva, Shiva, loving Shiva. And that remembrance has no opposite to it. It simply is the force of life. So take a moment before even I start and connect to that source and see, if there any push, is there any pull, is there any doing? Then ask yourself for once, what has pulled you towards him? इसमें ऐसा क्या है जो आप खींचे चले जाते हो? Is there anything truly? And that's what I say. You are not just pulled because you want something. You are not just pulled because you have a long list of questions to ask. If you are pulled because you want to guide Shiva. When I say guide Shiva, I was walking on the street yesterday. I had a very simple understanding. I saw like there was a driving school car going on. Like those who teach driving. And if you go and you watch the car driver, the one who is on the wheel thinks it is driving. But I came to know from Haribhai that he has no control actually. The person who is sitting on the side is controlling everything. And in our lives, we also feel like that learning school. We are sitting on the wheel thinking you are driving, but who is controlling? And then at times, we are on the wheel, we are also fearful because we think we are driving. We are on the wheel matlab steering, right? Because in US they call it the wheel. So, no? Okay. So when you are on the driving seat, that would be easier, might be. When you are in the driving seat, always remember, you are in a driving school, not on just a driving seat, at least for your life. That would take care of so many things. And at times we sit by its side and say, drive this way, drive that way. Some people think they are advisor for the gods. Now they are sitting on the side and asking God to drive. Have you seen those people? No? Pakka nahi dekhe. Then who are those people who say, God, do this for me, do that for me, this should happen this way, this should not have that way, do this and a coconut will be given. Have you seen those people now? And many times it reflects back my own image to me. And now I say, oh my God, this is me. Yes, at times you sit on the side seat guiding God. And that is where something has to change before this process arrives. Might be we dive deep into some things today. Because this sadhana that you are going to start, that can start with Shuddhi and the Deha Vedana, the Raudra Shiva, the Laya, the Shakti, Nirodha, the Antara Shiva, and the Mahapravesha, all these steps that we are going to do. Mind you, this sadhana is not meant to give you any some worldly experiences. Because the worldly experiences belong to the mind. And whatever the mind experiences will eventually fade. And for me, Shiva is not just an experience. Shiva is the ground on which all the experiences appear and disappear. And that's the reason. The purpose of this sadhana is not to reach Shiva this time. Mind you. हर बार साधना करते हो कि शिव तक पहुंच जाओ. But this time I am saying the purpose of this sadhana that we are going to do is not to reach Shiva, but to remove the resistance that prevents Shiva from revealing himself to you. वो सारे चीजें जो आपने बंधन बना रखा है जिसके वजह से वो आपको दिखाई नहीं देता. So this is not going towards him, it's peeling it off, which is not allowing it to see it. And even if you go to the Tantric Sampradaya or where they use mantras, yantras and tantras, they all understand something very clearly. Shiva does not arrive where the effort is very loud. He arrives where the obstruction is absent. The body and prana must be prepared to be like a still vessel. It should not be shaking. It should be a vessel which is ready to accept and is not shaking. Because if the vessel is shaking, whatever you will pour into that will spill. If the vessel is cracked, whatever is poured will leak. And this sadhana that we are going to do slowly will repair the cracks, will make that vessel steady, and makes an entire process of system capable of holding you together to what is already present, already within us every moment. Cautions when you are doing this sadhana, remember, if you want to do this sadhana and you still have fear, if fear remains, there is no entry. Because if fear contracts, the fear will contract the prana shakti along with it. And a contracted prana shakti cannot hold Shiva. Because Shiva is expansion. Shiva does not know a boundary. It's boundless. And fear always asks for protection, reassurance, or even control. And Shiva cannot enter a space where control is demanded. If ego remains, there is no entry. Ego is not pride alone. Ego is the insistence that I am the doer, I am the experiencer. This is happening to me. Shiva does not enter as an object to be experienced. The moment there is no one to claim that I am doing this or I am doing that, when that field of claiming the things closes, where your ego softens, that is where it appears. If instability remains within you, there is no entry. Instability in food, sleep, speech, emotions, or even discipline, all of it will make the prana restless. And a restless prana seeks stimulation, not truth. Shiva does not compete with stimulation. He waits until the system becomes still enough to notice him. And that is why this is going to be a sadhana. This sadhana, particularly, is going to be slow, repetitive, disciplined, and even at times it's going to be uncomfortable. Do you still want to do it? Won't run away in between, right? Then if you are saying yes, that you are going to continue it, then it is, whatever I'm saying, it's not to excite you. It is meant to exhaust what is false in you. Because when your fear will lose its grip, when your ego will lose its claim, and when instability will settle into rhythm, laya ban jayega, something extraordinary will happen. And it will happen without announcement. It will just happen, and it will happen just. Because Shiva does not come from outside. He does not descend as an event. He is revealed when nothing blocks him. When your resistance dissolves, entry is not dramatic, it is natural. Just like when you breathe, it is not a dramatic process, it just happens. And that's how, when it will enter you, it will not be dramatic, it will be natural. It will feel like remembering something that was never absent. That is going to be the fundamental truth of these 21 days of sadhana. Because in these 21 days of sadhana, you are not doing it for seeking Shiva. You are going to do it to make yourself a space inhabitable for Shiva. Are you ready for this transformation within you? Why I'm asking again and again is because this sadhana is going to be slow. Do you have that patience? Discipline that you have to follow for this 21 days. During these 21 days, there are certain disciplines you have to follow. One fixed sadhana time, no flexibility. There is no flexibility this time in this sadhana. Even if you are traveling, at the same time, sit, close your eyes and do it. Don't ask me for leeway. That is the first rule. Second, no intoxications, any form, whether it is in the form of a smoke or a spirit. So it's not allowed. You would limit your speech to minimalism. Very minimal speech wherever required, not like me just sitting and talking and talking and talking. Can you do that? Brahmacharya. Simple food. Now, I don't want to define what simple food is. Might be easily digestible. That would make you more sense. And for the Shivratri, there are going to be specific mantras. Do it diligently. Do you agree to these simple rules? Okay. देखते हैं आगे. Because this time we are not going to approach him with enthusiasm. We are going to approach him with contentment within our own selves. So here we begin the first step, the prathama sthara sadhana of Shuddhi and Deha Bhedana. Breaking the false body, mind, and even your identity. And you will realize that we have been doing it for a long, long time. Because when we look at our own body, we feel like, this is me. But if you are going into this sadhana, you will realize that Mahadev never asked you to improve the body, the mind, or the identity. He rather will reveal something far more unsettling, because none of these are who you truly are. Mano buddhi chitta na ahankar, na I am this, I am that, na I am that. Because if we take the Advaitic path, the fundamental ignorance is called as Dehatma Bodha. What does that mean? It is a belief that I am this body. And from this single mistake, everything else is born. Fear, desire, struggle, ambitions, insecurities, even the search for liberation. Are you seeking liberation? If you are seeking liberation, that you means you think you are bound. Bound to what? This body? What is the closest thing that you ever had in your entire life? What you feel is you? Body, right? But do you live in the same body? Was this body the same what it was yesterday? Will the body be same tomorrow? Because everything was going fine. Today I woke up and there is a pain in the leg. The next day when I wake up, there is no pain in the leg, there is a pain in the head. The next day when I am waking up, there is no pain in the head, there is upset in the belly. Now every single day, if you look at this also, your body is changing. You are never ever in the same body. It's constantly changing. And you thought, which is constantly changing, is you. Today we will dive into that to break it further. Because that Dehatma Bodha, this is what that I am this body, it creates all that pain within you. And that's where the Upanishad do not say that the body is bad. They never say that. They say the body is not you. And there is a vast difference between them. When I say I am the body, and when it says body is not bad, but the body is not you. And that is where the difference will be shown. If you go into the agamic traditions and the agamic learnings, they go one step further. They say ignorance is not just identification with the body, but identification with the continuity. The body changes, the mind changes, identity changes. Yet you feel you remain the same. That feeling of sameness is falsely attributed to the body-mind complex, when in truth it belongs to pure awareness. आपको पता है आपका शरीर आपका क्यों लगता है? It is changing daily, but as you are just there, so closely attached to it that you cannot see it's changing. It's just like this. You might be seeing your face every single day in the mirror. You won't find any changes. But if somebody meets you after some time, they will say, this has changed, that has changed. Why didn't you notice that? Answer is simple. Because you have lived in it daily, you could not see the changes happening. That is called as the Dehatma Bodha. You being so close to it that you cannot see the changes happening in it. And that's where it belongs, this pure awareness that you are, when it is constantly living in it. It does not feel the changes. And the bigger thing is, it does not feel the changes because it does not change. वो स्वयं नहीं बदलता, इसलिए उसे ये पता भी नहीं चलता कि और कुछ बदल रहा है. And that's where that you don't even realize that what is changing, what is false, what is truth. But there is a very simple but a devastating question. Have you heard of devastating questions? Our sages were not just very simple ones. They asked few typical questions also. And there was one particular question that they asked is, if you were the body, where were you before this body was born? अगर तुम ही शरीर हो तो तुम इस शरीर जब पैदा ही नहीं हुआ था तो उससे पहले कहाँ थे? Then, and if you say I did not exist, then they will say, then who is it that remembers that you never existed? ये किसे पता है कि तू ये शरीर से पहले नहीं था? या ये किसे पता है कि तू ये शरीर से पहले था? What is that? And that's where the entire game starts unfolding backwards. मतलब जितने ड्रामा फैला रखे थे ना आगे को, it all starts rolling back. And there is this beautiful story that comes from the Agamas. It says like someone goes to Shiva. Might be here it is mentioned in that way because he is the Adi Guru. And here it is mentioned in such a way that one of Shiva's bhakta or a disciple, he goes to Shiva and asks, Mahadev, how do I know that I am not the body? And in that moment, Mahadev did not answer anything. Instead, he just touched the forehead of the disciple. And the disciple fell unconscious. And when he woke up after a long unconsciousness, Mahadev asked, "Where were you just now?" The disciple said, "I don't know." And in that moment, Mahadev laughed and smiled and said, "That which knows but both knowing and not knowing, that is you." Because the body was lying here the whole time. ये शरीर यहीं का यहीं पड़ा था. ये कौन था जो कहता है कि मुझे पता है, और ये कौन है जो कहता है कि मुझे पता नहीं है? ये तू है, not this body, because this body is lying down here in front of me always. ये शरीर यहीं का यहीं पड़ा है. And then the body is seen, the body is felt, the body is known, and whatever is known cannot be the knower. और अद्वैत में एक एक्सप्रेशन है, दे से इट मर्सिलेसली, मैं कह सकता हूं इसको. दे एक्सप्रेस इट इन सच ए वे, इट फील्स मर्सिलेस. इन especially if you have heard of Drishya Viveka. Here there is a statement that says, दृश्य दृश्यते नित्यम. मतलब जो दृश्य है वो रोज दिखाई देता है. दृश्य तु दृश्यते नित्यम, द्रेष्टा न दृश्यते किंचित. The scene that you are seeing is always seen, but you, the seer, is never seen. आप जो देख रहे हो, आप कहते हो कि मैंने ये देखा, मैंने वो देखा, मैंने ये यहां गया, मैं वहां गया. I saw this, I saw that, but did you saw who saw it? Why didn't you saw the seer? इसे कहते हैं त्रिक दृष्टि विवेक. Through which you are seeing everything, you don't see it. The one who brings everything in front of you is hidden. जो सब कुछ अपने आपके सामने ले आता है वही अदृश्य है. जो सब कुछ आपके सामने प्रकट कर देता है वो स्वयं अदृश्य रह जाता है. And that is why it is said, that which is seen is always an object. The seer, the one who is seeing, is never seen. Now, look at the mind. You can close your eyes and just look at your mind. आप कहोगे, how do I look at my mind? No, you just close your eyes and you see how a thought is coming and how a thought is going. Just like it might be telling you, oh wow, whatever he's saying, I am getting it. Or, I don't understand what he's speaking about. The one who is saying that I don't know what he is speaking about is also the mind that is speaking to you now. And when you look at your mind, thoughts will come and go like clouds. One of the thought might say, I am confident. Another might say, I am afraid. But if both these thoughts are appearing and disappearing, which one of these is you? If the mind were you, your identity would change every few seconds. Yet, there is a strange continuity that remains untouched. Even when the mind collapses in sleep, or let's say somebody has been given with general anesthesia, or they are in shock, that is a very typical space. Despite all this, a strange continuity is continued. And this is what the Agamas call the mind, the Antarkarana. an inner instrument. Instruments are useful, but they are not the musician. Badhya hai means there is an instrument, but there is a one who plays that instrument. We all have seen like Shiva is shown holding a damru, right? And when he beats it, the sound comes from the damru, but the awareness of the sound is not in the damru. Similarly, thoughts arise in the mind, but awareness does not arise from a thought. इसके होने से विचार हैं, विचार के होने से ये नहीं है. There is a philosophical thought in the western side. Somebody said, I think that's why I am. मैं सोच सकता हूं, इसका मतलब मैं हूं. But there can be a state where you cannot think and yet you are there. And that thing is something they never understood. Let me give you a practical example. This might be a little unbearable to ignore. When you are angry, जब आपको गुस्सा आता है, you say, I am angry. But when the anger passes away, you say, I was angry. Who is this I? Who said, I am angry, and then after some time it says, I was angry. Who is that? Who is this I that remains before the anger, during the anger, and after the anger also? The anger had a beginning, the anger had an ending. You did not. Life had a beginning, life had an ending. You did not. The breath came, the breath went away. You saw the breath coming, you saw the breath going out. You remained. Would you see the creation and the destruction? Yet you remain. If that is you, what is your truth? In the Mandukya Upanishad, it points out through three states. जो कहते हैं ना कि waking, dreaming and deep sleep. In waking, you have the body and the identity. In dreaming, you have a different body and identity. In deep sleep, there is no body, no image of the body, no mind image, no image of the identity. Yet when you wake up, you say, I slept well. Who was that who witnessed the absence of the body, the mind and the identity? ये तीनों थे ही नहीं, लेकिन ये कौन था जिसे ये पता चला कि ये तीन नहीं थे? पर वो तो था. It was still there even without trying. And there is one more. There is Advaita becomes very dangerous to the ego at one point. Because it is not trying to give you a better identity, it removes the need of the identity. And this is what the Agamas describe as the process of bhanga, means breaking, not destroying, breaking. Breaking of the false identity. The false identity is not killed, it is seen through. It's just like having the power to see beyond the walls. You will not just destroy the wall, you can see through the wall. You will not destroy the body, you will see beyond the body. And this process is going to be all that. And what do you call? Shiva's another name is also called as Bhairava. Not just because he looks violent or acts violent, but because his truth is terrifying to the ego. He does not attack your problems. He attacks the one who claims ownership of the problem. How many of us have become the owners of our problem? It once happened like there was the lady who later on became a sage, became a saint, very profound saint in her later life. Throughout his life, she has done good things. She has always been following the right path, doing the good things. But his life was very tough. Okay. Many a times we keep questioning, na, like, I have done all the right things, I have done good things, I have lived a righteous life, then why I still have this sorrow in my life? ये दुख क्यों नहीं जाता? And this lady was there. And this lady once goes to her guru because she was exhausted that time, might be. एक के बाद एक दुख, एक के बाद एक दुख, एक के बाद एक दुख आते चले जा रहा है. Sorrow after sorrow. Then finally she goes and asks, Gurudev, I have lived a life of righteousness. I have done all the right things. I have done the good things. But why this sorrow is not ending? What do you think the Guru would do? Provide him a solution, a mantra, a process? No, the Guru laughed. Laughed and laughed and laughed, and she said, why are you laughing? I don't understand this part. Then the Guru says, you ask me why your sorrow is not ending because you never had enough of your sorrow. You won't get it at the first time until I elaborate that for you. You had not had enough of your sorrow, that's why you are still in sorrow. Pranit, if I give you 10 rasgullas to eat, how many would you eat? Might be 10. If I bring another 10 for you, will you still continue to eat it? No. Will I say, अरे इतने रसगुल्ले क्यों हैं? Or I would say, I am done with rasgullas. What is the way? I'll not go and complain, अरे हरी भाई आप इतने सारे सामान लेके आए, what will I do with it now? You have created so many food items. Shall I complain, अरे इतना क्यों बना, इतना क्यों बना? इससे कुछ होगा? Will anything happen with that? But the moment I say enough now for me, then you stop. It is not about how many things are kept in front of you. It's about when you say enough. And that the Guru said, you didn't had enough with your problems. You didn't had enough with your sorrow. That's why the sorrow continues. It's just like, let me have one more rasgulla despite having all the pain. Let me have one more gulping in and in and in. ना स्वाद है ना पेट को शांति. But the moment you said enough, समझ में आया? Why pain continues? You never had enough of it. The day you say it's enough. How long will you continue to take lives, birth after birth? सोचो. Up until you had enough of life. And the day you say enough with it, it stops. You know, people keep on asking about like, why did Shiva allowed Sati to burn? I said, that's Shiva. He will allow you to do whatever you want to do until you say enough. It is his not weakness, it is his power that he allows you to do anything. Because he knows one thing. किसी ना किसी दिन जाके कहोगे कि बस हो गया. Someday or other he will go and say it's done. और नहीं, आपको संसार में ऐसे घूलते रहेगा. इट विल कीप यू इन टू दिस वर्ल्ड रोटेटिंग, थ्रोइंग हियर एंड देयर एंड डूइंग ऑल द काइंड्स ऑफ ड्रामा विथ यू अप अंटिल यू से इट्स इनफ. अरे फील्ड में जो फुटबॉल होता है ना, उसको 11-11 22 पीपल किक अराउंड द फ्लोर, किक अराउंड द स्टेडियम, kick around the field. Up until when? Until the game goes on. The time the game is over, the football is kept somewhere sitting silently. What about you? Is your game over? What about you? Are you enough with your things? Tasting this, that and everything. बुफे है, इसका मतलब चखते जाओगे तो भी एक एक आइटम खाए तो पेट भर जाएगा. I don't know, like I've been into some of the marriages. You all might have seen the big fat Indian weddings that they call. 200 तरीके के आइटम रखे हुए, खाएगा कौन उसे? And then you never felt satiated because you could not taste the other thing that the person said it was good. And the person who created that buffet is not satiated because people could not eat it. Now tell me, what is this drama? पूरा रायता फैला रखा है. दैट्स व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द वर्ड एक्चुअली. जीवन में भी रायता फैला रखा है हमने. इट्स लाइक द स्पिलिंग द कर्ड, यू नो. दैट्स व्हाट इट इज ऑल अबाउट. We have been spreading our life in such a way, lost in this drama, that we could not say enough. But जिस दिन वो एक बार आ जाएगा ना, just like that, Shati, you know what? I think it in a very different way. Don't take it otherwise. I'm telling it on a recording. I think like the nature of us is complain. हमारा नेचर है complaining. And I sometimes think if Shiva would have stopped Sati from diving into the fire, she would have complained. Why are you stopping me? So Shiva understood a very simple thing. Whatever you stop, there will be a complaint. He says, go play. Someday you will realize and come back. See, Sati wanted to dive into the fire. He allowed. Sati wanted to take a rebirth. He allowed. Did he said no? And before that he was testing. Why? He said, पूछ तो लूं, अब तो तैयार है कि नहीं. It's not about testing. It's about asking, is this what you really want this time? Is this what you really want to experience? Is this what you say that you are done with this life things? Again, I'm asking, are you done with your drama, with coming and going? थक नहीं गए अब तक? Haven't you? 3 घंटा गाड़ी चला के थक जाते हो, 10 मिनट भाग के थक जाते हो. जीवन में आते जाते नहीं थके अभी तक. अभी भी कुछ चखना है. You want to eat something, you want to taste something, you want to experience something. No, up until you keep on saying that, it will keep on sending you those things to you. You remember I was telling you one, क्षमा करना, but one fine summer I said, oh, I liked mangoes. And you know what you all did? In 1 month, I received 1.3 quintal of mangoes. 130 kgs of mangoes in my house. In 1 month. उसे खाऊं, नहाऊं, लोगों में बांटूं. What should I do with that? उस दिन से मैंने हाथ जोड़े कहा, बस है और नहीं. Because the moment you enter into the house, the first smell that you have is mangoes. One fine day, I was opening my wardrobe and it was smelling like a mango. And I thought, if I open and mango falls from that. Because if I open the fridge, there is nothing else but mango and mango. Mela, even man goes, but mango stays. That's what I say. Once you reach to a space where you say enough, well, अब नहीं चाहिए. And that day it will say, ठीक है. वो आपके राजी से राजी है. He says yes to what you say. And what you have been saying? Think again. अगर वो आपके बातों से राजी है तो आप कौन सी बातें करते हो? What kind of talks do you talk? सोचो. You will get your answers. Awakening space actually, isn't it? सती जलना चाहिए तो उसे जलाने के दे दिया, बोला कि जा जल जा. सती तपस्या करने चाहिए, पार्वती बन के बोला ठीक है तपस्या कर ले. सती का ध्यान नहीं लग रहा था, नींद आ गई. सॉरी, पार्वती को ध्यान नहीं लग रहा था, नींद आ गई. बोला वो फिर जा, तुझे अभी और सोना है, गो फिर संसार में जा. व्हाट्स दैट यू वांट? हैव यू सीन लाइक इट इज एक्चुअली डूइंग व्हाट यू हैव आस्क्ड फॉर एंड वी से हे भगवान ये तूने क्या किया? उसने वही किया जो तुमने मांगा था. बट द ओनली थिंग इज, in my wisdom of that moment, I thought this is the greatest thing I can have. तब आप कहते हो फिर उसने मुझे रोका क्यों नहीं? वो रोक लेता तो तुम मान लेते. अरे इतने चीजों को रोक रखा है और आप उसको गालियां दे देते. He has stopped so many things, and when that thing is not happening, you say, भगवान मेरी पूजा में खोट रह गई. Is there a fault in my worship that this is not happening? देखा, जब वो रोकने जाता है तब आप उसे टोक देते हो. और जब देने के बाद तकलीफ आती है तब कहता है तुम रोका क्यों नहीं? सच बताओ, लीला भगवान करता है कि हम? Who is doing all this? Is it the drama of the divine, or it is me who is the artist? And if for a moment you look at the way your life is, won't you give yourself awards the way you are doing the dramas? सच में बैठना एक बार अपने जीवन को ध्यान से देखना कि रोज उठने के बाद मैं क्या क्या ड्रामा करता हूं. Just observe your life for a day and you will see you should get awarded. इतना अच्छे से खुश हो जाते हो और इतने तरीके से गुस्सा कर लेते हो. एक्सट्रीम्स. And this sadhana is going to awaken all that. Awaken you to make you see the one who is seeing all these things now. That awareness I am speaking of. So it is not about destroying, it's about breaking. It will break the false identity. And as I said, Shiva does not attack your problems. He attacks the one who claims those problems. वो आपको पीटता है, किसे? जो अपनी मालकियत बना बैठा है. And there is again a beautiful story that I still remember. Once एक संवाद है, like okay, so ये संवाद कैसा है? Like this story, संवाद मतलब लाते हो ना, like a conversation. Once Parvati was asking Shiva, who am I to you? मैं तुम्हारे लिए कौन हूं? Who am I to you? And Shiva replied, when you ask this, you are still someone else. When the question dissolves, you are me. Parvati did not understand it at the first instance, it seems. Rather, you did not understood it at the first instance. Then Shiva asked, who were you before you became Parvati? Now she fell silent. And in that silence, the questioner vanished. And that silence became the teacher. Because she realized before she was Parvati, she was Shiva. Who were you before who you are now? अगर ये आत्मा ही परमात्मा से आया है, जब ये आत्मा ये शरीर धारण नहीं की थी, तब ये आत्मा क्या था? और जब ये शरीर छूट जाएगा, तो ये आत्मा पुनः क्या बन जाएगा? But in this transition, just like there was a clay, it was still clay. When it was given a shape of a pot, it is still a clay. Form has changed. When the pot breaks, it is still a clay. Clay has been intrinsic quality. It has just taken different shapes. Similarly, if you were that Paramatman, which has taken a shape right now, are you different from the Paramatman? And when this identity breaks, will you still be the Paramatman or not? So in this transition, don't forget. Just allow that silence to become your teacher. Identity is nothing but memory repeated with emotion. And if you change your memory, identity will shift. How many of you have, I don't know whether people in the north have seen that or not, Aparichitudu. There is a movie called as Aparichitudu because that split personality. Right? One way he is a Pandit, and the very next moment is Romeo. So he changes his identity in fraction of second. And that's what I say. That split kind of personality. It is just changing because your emotion is that way, because you think yourself to be one particular way. Change the memory, identity will shift. Lose the memory, identity disappears. But even if the identity disappears, the awareness does not disappear with memory loss. And therefore, identity is not the essence of you. It is just the habit. And that's how you have become what you think yourself to be. Out of habit. सत्यता में नहीं हो, बार बार बोल बोल के बन गए हो. तो हम कहते हैं ना कि अगर अपना नाम कहते कहते ये बन गए हो, तो राम कहते कहते राम नहीं बन जाओगे. And that's where identity is nothing but a memory repeated with emotion. It's just you have to change this habit. And this habit, Agamas में लिखा हुआ है कि the Agamas say that the liberation is not an achievement. It is Vishrimiti, like Vismriti, forgetting what was false. सत्यता को भूल नहीं जाना. देखो, जब सत्य को भूल जाते हो तो बंधन में आ जाते हो, जब मिथ्या को भूल जाते हो then you get liberation. And that's how this drama of Smriti and Vismriti continues. Just as you forget a dream upon awakening, you do not need to fight with it, it just disappears. The only thing that you need is awakening. And there is a very practical insight that I would like to give you. Might be a little unsettling. Whenever fear arises within you, जब भी आपके अंदर भय प्रकट होता है, in that moment, observe very carefully. Fear always refers to the future, not now. Fear is always referring to the future, and regret always refers to the past. आपके जितने सारे रिग्रेट है ना, ये रिग्रेट नहीं करोगे अरे मैं कल अगर ये कर पाऊंगा तो, नो, यू डोंट रिग्रेट दैट मैं अगर कल ये कर पाता तो. So your regret always comes from your past and your fear always comes from your future. If you see this in the present, are any of this existing now? No. So what are your fears? What are your regrets? But you have to realize that the one who can see the past and see the future, उसे आप क्या कहते हो? त्रिकालदर्शी. Now you are also the one who is able to see the past and even think of the future. Who are you then? Ignorant Trikaladarshi would be a good word. Unconscious Trikaladarshi. कल क्या होगा पता नहीं, बट रो तो रहे हो. You are still crying, isn't it? What is going to happen you don't know, but you are still crying. कल ये होगा. हाँ. How? How do you know that? And if you know the future, what is there to cry? If you don't know the future, why are you crying? Can you see? Ignorant Trikaldarshis. लोग कहते सिर्फ शिव ही देख सकते हैं. बोला नहीं, हमारे पास सारे लोगों को दिखाई देता है. But here, what differentiates Shiva from us is he is always in the present, he is always in the now. And that is how he is also called as the Mahakala. Not because he controls time, but because he stands untouched by it. And when we are going through this process of breaking the false body, mind, identity, it's not going to be dramatic. Might be I can. You cannot stop me from being dramatic also. Whatever works, that's what I say. It is going to be quiet. It feels like something slowly will slip away that you were holding unnecessarily. Are you ready to give away the things that you are holding unnecessarily? Might look very, very precious to you. But let me ask you again. Are you ready to let all those things slip away from your hands? दर्द हो सकता है, डर लग सकता है. What will you do? Will you still continue this sadhana? Because this sadhana is not about gaining control, it's about giving away. And if you are ready for that, then. But what will happen, in this process when unnecessary things goes away from you? This is where the sages and the saints say, when the things begin to go away from you, you will feel lighter, but also strangely unimportant, because your ego will call it a loss, but Advaita calls it freedom. Let me give you a very simple example here. When you go to sleep, in a very, very deep state of sleep, do you connect with the divine? Think again. देह का बोध नहीं रहा, you don't have the identity of the body. You don't have any identity of your own self. Even the mind is absent because you are no more dreaming. In that space, what have you become? Nothing and everything. In that space, are you connecting with the divine? Then you can look at it in this way. You are unconsciously touching the divine in your dream, in your deep sleep every single day, unconsciously, or you can make that a conscious effort. जहां आपके सोने जाने की तैयारी जरूरत नहीं है. You don't even have to go to sleep to experience the divine. You will experience the divine in stark daylight. And this Shivratri, I'm going to take upon few topics actually, which would take all these things drive home. And when you realize what freedom is, all the things slip away from you. Breaking of this is a so blissful experience if you know why it is being broken. Because in the final sutras of the Agamas, it slowly not even indicates, it whispers kind of thing. It slowly whispers, you do not need to reach Shiva. You just need to stop standing in front of the way of Shiva. आपको शिव तक पहुंचने की जरूरत नहीं है. जो रास्ता बंद कर रखे हो उसको खोल दो. It's about not standing in the way. When the body is seen as an instrument, the mind as a movement, and identity as a mask, what remains is emptiness. What remains is self-luminous presence, effortless, silent, complete. That presence will not even say, I am Shiva, because it simply will become it. And that's why the vibration when you connect to that silence, it's not a belief, it's not a recognition. When you are in that space, automatically a sound comes. Asango, nirvikalpo, nirakara rupo. What would I call myself then? Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. And now, let me tell you the purpose of this fracture that we are going to do. The crack that we are going to crack in you. सब कहते हैं ना, you should crack the question. I'm going to crack you as the question. Because you are the biggest question on your whole self, I believe. मैं ऐसा क्यों हूं? Why I'm like this? Why I'm like that? So let's crack that as well. And this purpose is to fracture the identification that you have identified with fear, with scarcity, and the personality that you have thought yourself to be. So Shiva can begin to press against the inner walls of yours, and pressing you will say, no, this is not you. I am you. So let's me guide you with the sadhana. The sadhana that you are going to start from tomorrow. कल से जो आप साधना शुरू करोगे. What is this sadhana going to be? The first one is the Shuddhi, right? And you might have heard of Bhuta Shuddhi for so many times. How many of you have done Bhuta Shuddhi? At least digital hands. What is Bhuta Shuddhi altogether? They say like, okay, so you close your eyes and slowly things are vanishing from you. But Bhuta Shuddhi is not that. I'm going to teach you a practical way of doing that. How? It's not about connecting with those sources. It is not about connecting with those 5 elements. But it's a very different way. Are you ready for that step? Where Bhuta Shuddhi becomes a different kind of game altogether, a different experience altogether, or rather, the way it should be. So the first thing that you will start with Bhuta Shuddhi, because for me, it is not about purification of 5 elements, but realizing that the 5 elements, that what you are is exactly what they are. In order to make you understand, I will ask a few questions before even I start breaking it. You keep on saying Aham Brahmasmi. You can keep on saying that everything is God. And at times you sit in front of the mirror and say, Aham Brahmasmi. Does not look like one anyways. दिख तो नहीं रहा किसी एंगल से. Then you say God is everywhere. Cannot see it. Well, let me show you how things are actually dancing in front of your eyes and you are not able to. Can you really connect with God? आपको लगता है कि आप ही भगवान हो या कहते हो? You just say or you believe it? You just say it. That's why when people ask, हाँ सच में तू ही भगवान है, तब डर जाते हो, भाग जाते हो, कहानियां सुनाते हो. You tell stories, right? When people said, so you say you are Brahma, you are saying you are Shiva, you are the Parabrahman. Really? Okay, do this for me. And वहीं आप भाग जाते हो. नहीं, it's not. Let me tell you a story. That's what you do. No, I am Brahman, but in fragments. जब कोई नहीं होता तब मैं ब्रह्म हूं. जब कोई आके पूछता है तो मैं ब्रह्म नहीं हूं. Isn't it? But let me give you a scientific way of bringing both this thing in alignment. ताकि कल को जब आपको कोई पूछे ना कि तुम ये कहते हो कि तुम ब्रह्म हो, कैसे कह देते हो? क्योंकि ना तुम ब्रह्म की तरह दिखते हो, ना तुम्हारे आचरण ब्रह्म की तरह है, ना तुम्हारे विचार ब्रह्म की तरह है, ना तुम्हारे सोच ब्रह्म की तरह है, ना ही तुम्हारे कार्यकलाप ब्रह्म की तरह है. नथिंग. Neither your name, neither your fame, neither the way you look at it, neither the way you thought, neither the way you act looks like Brahman. Then how can you say you are still Brahman? Even if I say this Atman, but this Atman is so different from the Paramatman, then how can I connect that to you? And let me give you a practical answer for that. There is a flower, there is a bee. Do they look alike? नहीं ना? Bee looks quite different. One can fly, one has to stay at one place. One can roam around, the other one just waits. They don't look anyway like each other. Yes or no? ये दोनों किसी भी तरीके से एक दूसरे की तरह दिखते हैं? No. None of them look like each other. But My question is, can a bee exist without this flower? सोचो फिर से. Can a bee exist without the flower? No, because it's life force in this flower. Can a flower create its future without the bee? नहीं समझ आया? Pollination. Heard that? 6th standard में पढ़े होंगे pollination. How does the pollination happens? So that means without the flower there is no bee, without the bee there is no flower. They don't look like each other, but they are part of the same life flow. ये दोनों अलग अलग दिखते हैं लेकिन एक ही कार्य कर रहे हैं. Yes or no? They are part of one drama, different characters. But without them, this drama cannot continue. Can it? No, right? So, how essential is the bee for the flower and how essential is the flower for the bee? They appear different, but they are actually part of one thing. Similarly, you appear different, but part of the same drama, part of the same life force. Without one, the other cannot exist. Without you, can the tree exist? Without the trees, can you? Oxygen, carbon dioxide. Can you see? You look so different from each other, but yet you are all part of the same thing. Your feet does not look like your head, your hands does not look like your face. But as they are so well connected in one thing, you feel it as one. The only thing you are not able to see those things as one because you cannot connect it. The day you can connect it with each other, just like your hand, body, leg, feet, and face are connected, it all appears one. The day you see the entire life has appeared in those different spheres and they are all aligned in one line. Just like your heart does one activity, your belly does one activity, your head does another activity. They are all different but connected to one system. When you look at one system, it looks one. If you look at the entire system of the creation, everything is one. Nothing looks as is. Everything appears different, but part of one system. You don't look like me, I don't look like you, but are we part of the same system? And what if I can see that connectivity? Will you differentiate that my leg is not my body? My hand is not my body because it moves away. What is that? Can you see? Everything is so connected. The only thing is the way I see it is not that. I don't know that way of seeing might be. So you want to connect with those sources now, because now if you understood the drama between the flower and the bee, now you will understand the drama between the Pancha Mahabhutas and like you. You no way look like air. You no way flow down like water. But yet it is said you are made out of that. Are we ready to connect in such a way that everything cleanses itself on its own? A new way of Bhuta Shuddhi. You don't need a fire, you don't need even water. You just sit and everything happens. No preparation. मैंने कहा ना, it's going to be simple, but might be uncomfortable at times. Anybody feeling the, what do I say, deficiency of H2O can drink it. So if you can drink it, then we will start this process. There is a saying, rather, Kevat, you know, the fisherman? The fisherman is surrounded by water but dies out of thirst. Fisherman is surrounded with water but dies out of thirst. पता है क्यों? गलत जल से दोस्ती कर ली. It became a friend with the water that it cannot drink and dies amidst of ocean thirsty. ये कहानी किसी मछुआरे की नहीं है. It's not a story of a fisherman. It's a story of us. When you are too lost, वो क्या है? सागर में प्यासा मरता है ना? He dies out of thirst amidst of ocean. मैं भी वही कहता हूं, जो सागर से दोस्ती कर लेता है, संसार सागर है, तो यही प्यासा मरता है. Why? Because you can see like so many things are there. दुनिया में, संसार में बहुत कुछ है, लेकिन पी नहीं सकते, प्यासे मर जाते हैं. अंत में पता चलता है कि प्यासा ही मर गया. इफ यू आर टू मच इन टू दिस वर्ल्ड, दैट्स वॉट एग्जैक्टली हैपेंस टू अस. Everything is there, so much of affluence, so much of things going on, but we die. And when we go with that thirst, we come back to quench our thirst again. आपने देखा है ना, कहीं कभी कभी कहीं जाना है, भाग के जाते हो, किचन से थोड़ा सा पानी पी के निकल जाते हो. What happens? After some time again you feel thirsty. प्यास नहीं बुझी. क्यों? और प्यास बुझाते बुझाते मर गए. That's exactly what happens in life also. You are trying to fill your thirst, you are trying to quench your thirst with these worldly things. हुआ कभी? नहीं हुआ. गलत समंदर के साथ दोस्ती कर ली. Let's go back. If H2O has surfaced well and there is a balance within you now, let's go to this. I'm going to give you the instructions, and most probably I'll try to put the same instructions into Anahad also, so that you can go and follow that. But this time I'm going to do a magical thing. Once you complete this 7 day sadhana, then only the next sadhana will open for you. No shortcuts. Because I don't want you to cut short of yourself. So the first instruction is you should be sitting facing towards the north or northeast. It's pretty clear. शिव की साधना करते हो तो नॉर्थ की तरफ फेस करके बैठना है. Now you can close your eyes and you can slowly follow whatever I am saying, because this thing is going to be put into the process sheet also. So you will start with like keeping your spine naturally erect, not rigid, not completely relaxed, but in a simple state of straight spine. And you should be awake when you are observing your spine, like, okay, so this is a space where I'm not feeling very tight in my spine, neither it is pretty loose. It is in its normal curvature. And now you can take both of your hands and rest it on your thighs, palms open, fingers relaxed, hand and the palm facing upwards. Do not control it, but just allow your breath to find its own rhythm. With your eyes closed, gently allow your breath to find its own rhythm. Slow breathing. Just observe the dance of breath coming in and going out. Take your time and just observe the rhythm of your breath. And you will notice that while you are focusing on the breath, there is a silence that is dawning within you. There is a relaxation. Now bring your awareness slowly into the body, not as my body, but bring the awareness as this body is nothing else but a field of elements. Start with the lower part of the body. Feel the weight, feel the density, even feel the sense of solidity. Recognize silently and clearly. My body is earth. My body is earth. My body is earth. Feel the bones, the muscles, the flesh, and structure as nothing but Prithvi Tattva. All these bones, all this flesh, all these muscles, they are nothing but the Prithvi Tattva. Stable, heavy, and let the idea of this is me slowly lose off. See this body as soil. Now shift your awareness to your breath again. Feel the inhalation and the exhalation moving effortlessly. Sense the movement. Sense the lightness. Sense the constant flow. recognize my breath is air. My breath is air. My breath is air. Notice that the breath moves on its own. You are not doing it. The sense of control begins to weaken. This sense of control begins to weaken further. That is the air element in you. Now bring the awareness to the warmth of the body. The subtle heat in the abdomen, chest, or face. This heat is like the metabolic fire that digests, transforms, and sustains. The metabolic fire that digests, transforms, and sustains. And when you are bringing the awareness to the warmth in the abdomen, chest, or face, recognize it without imagination. My warmth is fire. My warmth is fire. My warmth is fire. The fire is not personal. It belongs to the cosmos principle of Agni, or the cosmic principle of Agni. And when you realize that this is a cosmic principle, let ownership dissolve. Now move your awareness to fluids. Now, as we are moving towards the fluids, experience the saliva in your mouth, moisture in the eyes, blood flow, internal liquids. And in this moment, feel the coolness, the flow the adaptability. Recognize. Recognize my fluids are water. My fluids are water. Observe how water adjusts, moves, nourishes, and yet without any identity. And now bring your awareness to the space within the body. Awareness now comes to the space within the body. The hollowness in the chest, abdomen, throat, head. The openness in which breath, thought, and sensation appear. The openness in which the breath, the thought, and sensation appear. Recognize. My space is ether. My space is ether. My space is ether. Rest in this vastness for a few moments. You rest in this vastness for a few moments more. Rest in this vastness for a few moments. Thoughts, sensations, and emotions are now seen as movements within the space. Now continue to sit quietly and let this understanding settle. While settling down, realize the body is earth, the breath is air, heat is fire, fluids are water, awareness is space. And if all these things are the Panchamahabhutas, nothing here is me. Nothing here is owned. As this recognition deepens, allow the same of I am this body, or allow this sense of I am this body to weaken slowly, not forcefully, not intellectually, but naturally. Remain silent for a few breaths. And now take a deep breath. Remembering this is connecting with the sources, the Bhuta Shuddhi, not cleansing something impure, but remembering what you are and what you are not. Take your time to open your eyes. Now I'm going to give you the mantra for the first week, and it should be continued till the 21st day. So might be for a moment you might have to close your eyes, which feels so nice that you can actually go back to sleep. But this mantra you will chant slowly with a weight, means ek bhari. It's not like just a mantra flew away. It should be slow. And this mantra is Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya Namah. So this is one mantra that you will start with. First, again, I repeat it. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namo Namah So you have to chant this mantra, Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya Namah. So this has to be chanted one mala minimum with Rudraksh mala. I will also post this mantra. And when you are doing this mantra, try to see how that mantra is actually pressing downwards, not upward, but downwards. If while chanting the mantra, if you experience that the breath is becoming slower, or it feels like it is stopping for a brief moment, do not interfere. It is how it has to be. So this mantra is for 3 malas on Rudraksh. Then, once you complete the mala, then you have to do another simple meditative practice, Kalatita awareness, entering the timeless state. Shall I continue? So here also you will go back into the sadhana. Close your eyes. So again, in order to do the Kalatita awareness, it is like entering into a timeless state. Although you can do it with lying down, but that would be at your own risk. You might fall asleep. So sit absolutely still, spine upright, body settled. Hand resting on your thighs, on the knees, open towards the sky. Eyes gently closed. Eyes should be kept closed. Now, once you reach this stage, do nothing. Do not try to meditate. Do not try to focus. Do not even try to stop your thoughts. But just allow the thoughts to arise exactly as they wish. Do nothing. As I said, do not try to meditate, do not try to focus, do not try to stop your thoughts. Let the thoughts arise exactly as they wish. Let memories appear. Let sensations move. Do not interfere. Do not correct it. And as your memories appear and the sensations move within you, do not interfere, do not correct, do not judge. Simply notice something subtle. Simply notice something subtle. Everything that appears in front of you. The thoughts comes and goes, sensations rise and dissolve, emotions flicker and pass, but something remains unmoving. What is unmoving, do not name it, do not describe it. Just recognize that there is an awareness that is not changing with time. Now gently observe time itself. Now that awareness of that is not changing with time is so profound. Now gently observe time itself. Notice how one thought refers to the past, another to the future, another to the present moment. See it clearly. See clearly how time is moving inside your awareness. Awareness is not moving inside time. Just stay with that recognition. If the mind tries to grab this understanding, just allow it to fail. If identity tries to return, let it be subtle in nature. Become absolutely still, because stillness is revealing itself. There is no participation. You are simply becoming still with every passing moment. And now you realize that whatever you were trying to achieve is just like the breath you need. And the rule of the breath is it will come and go. Let it soften. Again, there is no effort. There is non participation only. You are not becoming still. Stillness is revealing. Rest here in this space. Once you rest here, for the final few breaths, let even the idea of I am observing disappear and dissolve. There is only presence without center, without boundary. And now, without any sound, without movement, without your lips or tongue, allow a single vibration to arise inside your chest. A single vibration that again and again arises within you, and that sound of truth is Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. Do not just repeat it, do not just chant it, but let it become a breath of yours. Let it be the way it is. Let it be. Sit for a few moments with this vibration, allowing those words to echo within yourself. Allow that silence to continue to echo within you. Slowly rub your hands and cover your face with both the hands. Hold it there. Feel the warmth and now slowly open your eyes inside your hands. And then, when you are comfortable, slowly remove it from your face. And then finally, again go for the Tripund. Adesh Mahadev. If you will practice this correctly, you might feel heaviness in the spine and the chest. Some emotional drama will surface. At times, you will find yourself suddenly becoming still and feeling that calmness. You can also realize that your fear patterns are coming up, but not to fight, but to dissolve itself this time. So, this is going to be your first week sadhana. Very simple. So, what I am going to do is try to pull this audio so that it helps you in meditation. Put the entire process into another so that you can go and refer to that for the 7 days. And once you complete this, we will start with the next phase of it. Could see Lavanya ji raising your hand. कुछ बोलना है Lavanya ji? नहीं? Okay. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands now, or else meet you in the Q&A session. No question is good. Any timings to do this sadhana? शिव का कोई समय नहीं होता. जिस समय का आप चुनाव करो उसी समय पे रेगुलर करना है. You can, जो स्वयं कालातीत है, the one who is beyond time, there is no restrictions of time for him, but the only thing is fix a particular time or else you will lose the discipline. Okay. So thank you for being there listening to me, and starting your practices. एक के बाद के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद एक. So it is continuing. Like, good, I feel this is grace. So we will meet you again in the Q&A session. If you have any queries, you can ask me on that day. But do this sadhana. Do we have a vibration or coolness in the Agna Chakra? Of course, all these things will happen. But this time, what I'm saying is, we will not only experience this, but even will free of that experience. I experience this. Okay, say him, okay, so you are giving me this experience, but I want to go beyond this also. Because you remember, this time it's not about seeking Shiva, it is becoming it. It's not about knowing it, it's about removing what is not allowing me to know it. So may that grace of that Shiva be there with you. May he be your guide. May he be your path. May he be your light. How much time should we do this process for? One restriction will be there, because if I record it, you will only do for that much time. But if you can sit beyond when I say that you can now take your hands or stop this process, if you can still want to sit in that stillness, don't stop. Because this is where you consciously enter into that space. Okay? So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for your efforts. ये क्या कहते हैं, चुनाव. लेकिन कभी कभी चुनाव स्वभाव बन जाता है. So may this become your nature, and may you connect with that. Har Har Mahadev. Hari bhai, over to you.